Let's move on, though, into our next topic, Johnny. And I didn't want to talk about this one. I really didn't. But I feel like we have to talk about this one. It is our civil duty on the podcast
civil
to talk about this story. So, coming out this week, I'm looking at the article from Entertainment Weekly, EW.com. Jared Leto to star in standalone Joker movie. And it reads this. This is part of the article. Leto's Joker movie would be set within the DCEU, which encompasses Suicide Squad, Justice League, Wonder Woman, and the upcoming Aquaman and more. It's separate, however, from a potential Joker origin movie taking place outside the DCEU with Joaquin Phoenix eyed to play the Clown Prince of Crime. Confused? You're not alone. So this is what I want to ask you, Johnny, is will it be any good? Do we have any hope for the Jared Leto standalone movie? Because it really does, like, here's the thing that confuses me. If you're still going to do, like, I assume that, all right, we're doing this Joker movie, the Joaquin Phoenix one is gone. We're not doing two Joker movies. If you do both of them, one outside the DCEU, one in the DCEU, we don't need two of them. But with this one, is it going to be any good? Or, from what most of us kind of predict, it's not going to be good, or will it not even be made at all? What are kind of your thoughts about this?
Well, it sounds more like DC went from making empty promises to false promises to empty threats with this Jared Leto movie. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna make a Jared Leto Joker movie. What now? It's like, no, you won't, DC.
I will say this: there are some people that like the Jared Leto Joker. There are people out there that do that. Well, I mean, here's the thing about the Jared Leto Joker that I just want to get off my chest is, although I did not like it, I respect the, what's the term I'm looking for? I respect not the gall. I respect.
That'd be a bad way to put that.
No,
I respect the gall you had to even try that.
It's basically what my brain was thinking almost. But I respect their creativity, I'll say. Where it's like, all right, you wanted to try to do something so different with the Joker that we've never seen by making him basically a crime boss. And the whole thing, though, is it just didn't, like, for me, it didn't land with me. Like, I know what you're trying to do. It didn't land with me. And this wasn't like because you know me. Most of the time with me, it's like, nope, that's not what I remember from my childhood. No, delete, delete, delete. I don't want any of it. That's mostly me. Like, if it's not recreated from my childhood, I don't want any part of it. But with this, I understand what you're trying to do. I understand what your creativity was going. It didn't hit with me. And most people, I would like to think most people, are in that camp. I just don't know why. Like, it's like we talked about before. We actually had this segment a few months ago. Do we actually need this movie? Do we need a standalone Joker movie? On one side, yes, because I would like to see an origin story told about the Joker because he's got an interesting backstory if done right. But is Jared Leto's Joker the right time to do that? Is it the right time to do that? That's the big question for me in my head.
Just like you, it didn't stand with me. His Joker, I mean, I can get the crime boss thing. There's some of the his actions I could have let go when he was being Joker. But the biggest thing that got to me was the grills and all the tattoos. That's really like, you're trying to make the aesthetic of a character everyone that knows anything nerdy knows about. Why are you doing changing him up so drastically to where you're, he's supposed to be pale and green hair and he's supposed to be psychotic. Now you made him with grills, a gold tooth grill, all tatted up. Yeah, he had the pale skin, but it's like you kind of took away from all that Jokerness by doing all that. And then his actions were interesting. He was less psychotic in the way we know of, like a super smart psychosis, to a I'm just batshit crazy.
Yeah. I'm reading now the Variety article on
the growling.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read.
Different.
I'm gonna read a little bit from the Variety article because it adds a little bit more than the EW one did, and it says plot details are currently unknown. Oh, by the way, before I get into this, not only is Jared Leto gonna star in this, he's also going to executive produce this as well.
Oh wow!
So there's that too. Plot details are currently unknown, but the studio's idea is to expand the world created by Suicide Squad and tie into future installments of that property. Warner Bros. Already announced that Margot Robbie's version of Harley Quinn would be getting her own movie with a Birds of Prey feature. And the next goal was setting up a film for Jared Leto's Joker. When Warner Bros. Announced last fall that it was developing a Joker origin tale from Todd Phillips, the studio emphasized that this did not mean the end for Leto's Joker. Rather, Phillips' film would fall under a new Origins banner that would be separate from the current cinematic DC universe. This new banner would allow multiple actors and versions based on the same character with no overlap. And WB has already tabbed Joaquin Phoenix to star in Phillips' Joker pick. Here's the thing I don't understand. Why would you do this to yourself? It would be like... Here's what I'm thinking of. I'm trying to think of... That was my chair.
Okay.
The crackling. That was my chair because I leaned back a little bit.
I just heard no...
It's like if I said... I'm trying to think of a great analogy because the one I was going to use, I think, has holes in it. It's like if I had this really good product.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm selling you this product. And I'm like, it's a one-of-a-kind product. You can't get it anywhere else. And then I came out and said, all right, here's another product. And it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing with one variation. But it does the same thing. Like, that's what I'm trying, like, that's what's going through my mind right now. Because what I think will happen, because I know comic book fans and I know myself, we'll watch the Jared Leto Joker movie. We'll then watch the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. If we like that Joaquin Phoenix one, why would you do that? Why would you pit those two against each other? Because virtually that is what's going to happen.
True.
You're going to pit those two movies against each other, although they're unrelated.
Yeah. And you are actually, now that you mentioned that, you will be pitting, no matter what, if you even say, hey, they're separate, they're not in the same years, you're still pitting them against each other. Because then, like, let's say more people like the Joaquin Phoenix one. Mm-hmm. They're going to go, oh, shit, I wanted Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. Why don't we have him as the Joker? Well, that's because Jared Leto is part of the DCEU. Well, so, I mean, you're kind of, no matter what, yeah, you're right. You're pitting them against each other. Unless
they go with, like, and it all depends of what they're going to do with the Joaquin Phoenix one. Unless they go with and kind of explain the multiverses. Because DC is big on that too, with the multiverses and Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth... Like, we see that in the Flash TV show. Oh, but I'm the Flash. No, I'm the Flash from Earth 2. You're the Flash from Earth 1 kind of a thing. So, maybe they play into that a little bit, where it's like, no, this Joker is from Earth 2. The Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, is from Earth 1. After reading the Variety part of it, my next question is... what kind of a Joker story can you tell set in the world that was set up by Suicide Squad? Because are you going to put up basically is it going to be a Joker movie that tells basically a buddy cop movie between him and Harley Quinn from exactly when she breaks out? Or is that where Suicide Squad 2 is going to pick up? Or is it going to be more of this is what the Joker kind of like, while Margot's doing her own thing with Harley Quinn, this is what the Joker does in that Suicide Squad universe. Well, world, I should say. It's still the DCU, that's the universe. But like, what world? I just don't know. Me personally, and this is why I'm not getting paid the big bucks to come up with the story, I don't know if there's enough there in that, unless you're tying in other things. And I kind of have a hard time having a Joker movie without Batman. Batman has to... I'm not saying that Batman has to be a main component, but he has to make at least a few cameos in this movie.
Yeah,
you
do, because I mean, what are you going to do?
Unless it's a Joker or like Joker origin, you can do without Batman.
Hey,
until like the very end. Until like the very end. Yeah, I think so.
Didn't he knock him into the
That's what I'm saying. Until the very end, you can kind of
I guess so, yeah.
That. You can do a Joker origin story without Batman until like the very end. But if you're going to do a Joker standalone film that takes place in the universe set up by Suicide Squad. Who was in Suicide Squad? Batman. So, I mean, there has to be that level of Batman in your movie.
Yeah.
And look at how many... We don't even know when we're going to get the Batman movie.
Very true. I mean, it's just DC stating another movie they're going to make.
And that's
to be honest.
And that's the thing. Some people are kind of... This is now the second time you've gone to it, and I'm going to now throw the question out there.
Yeah.
I was watching Greg Miller from Kind of Funny talk about it because whenever something from DC, it's kind of like I gotta get Greg's take on it. And with him, he was like, "I'll believe it when I see it." Like DC is thrown out so many. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're doing this. We're doing that. And it's like, just fucking do one. Just do one. Pick it. Do it. And I felt like we were kind of getting that. All right, we're doing Wonder Woman 2. All right, we have Aquaman. All right. We're doing Shazam, where it's like, now I feel like don't get in that same boat of like, we're doing Birds of Prey, we're doing Joker, Birds of Prey, this, that, all over the place. Just do it.
Red Hood, Batman universe.
Just do it. Well, Red Hood, let's just hope he stays to the Titans TV series right now. We're going to get to that in a second, but I'll ask you, do you even think, if you had to put your money on it, what percentage would you put that this movie actually gets done in the end? Or is it like, hey, remember when they said they were going to do a Jared Leto Joker movie? Thank God that never happened.
I'm going to go with the latter as of now because DC has said quite a few movies they're going to make, and then not a lot of them happened.
Yeah, and it says, according to Variety, it's currently unknown when this film would go into production, as Leto and the studio will now search for a writer. It's also unclear if this film would shoot before or after the previously announced sequel to Suicide Squad, which is believed to go into production sometime in 2019. So with that little info being added in, going back to the story part of it, because I'm with you. In the end, I'm putting my money on this movie not even happening. That's more hope than actual knowing at that point, because I would not be let down if this movie didn't happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is with that, just by hearing this one paragraph, my money's on this movie's coming out. If you don't even have a writer yet, and the other movie's supposed to go into production a year from now, maybe half a year, depending on when in the 2019 it goes into production, then that means this movie is most likely going to take place after Suicide Squad 2. Which means you're going to have to play off of that story if it's in the Suicide Squad 2 universe.
Yeah.
Which, for a story on our end, we can't even speculate then because we don't know what's going to happen. We haven't even seen anything for Suicide Squad 2 except for them saying, yeah, we're going to do it.
Yep, we got an idea.
And us going, oh, dear God, you're going to sell us another soundtrack. Because that was, for those of you who are new that wasn't around when Suicide Squad came out, we weren't even doing the podcast when Suicide Squad came out. But my biggest gripe with Suicide Squad is that I went to that movie and I felt like it was just Guardians did it. 2, I felt like, so they tried to sell me the soundtrack. That's basically what they tried to do. They were
forcing a soundtrack too hard.
The credits rolled. We got the Amanda Waller Batman after credit scene. And I turned to Dave and I said, so they tried to sell me the soundtrack. That's what they tried to do.
Yeah.
And Dave's like, well, they did a good job because I want it. And I was like, just because Guardians did it doesn't mean it's going to work for, it's got to be done in the right way.
It was called
done in the right way. Because that was right after Guardians came out.
Yeah.
And Guardians did that whole thing of, we're going to mix this beautiful soundtrack together. Where this one just felt like, I like this song, jam it into this hole. Ooh, I love this song, jam it into that hole.
Where can we fit this song?
Yeah, and that was my biggest gripe with Suicide Squad. Enough. Do you think we can speculate on a story for this?
I really got nothing right now.
Because, I mean, Suicide Squad 1 ended with them beating the the demon that was possessing the enchantress.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Diablo going one-on-one with her and basically killing himself.
He went one-on-one with the bigger guy, though.
That's right.
Yeah.
And killed himself. And at the end...
They lost their hardest hitter.
Yeah, and then at the end, Joker broke Harley out, but we don't know where that story is going to be if it's going to change with Suicide Squad.
And got her thing deactivated.
Yeah, got her thing deactivated. Any final thoughts on this? I hope it doesn't happen. I don't like Jared Leto's Joker. I know there are people out there that do, but I don't want this to happen, and I'll be happy if it never does.
I'm not putting any thought, or not thought. I'm not putting any.
Johnny's like, I don't want to have to go and see this because I know we're going to.
I'm not really worried because DC has had a tendency to state movies they're going to make and not happen.
Like you said, not a false promise this time, a false threat this time.
Yeah, empty threat.
Yeah, don't have us come down there and be like, oh, we're gonna come out with this movie. No, please don't. We don't want this movie.
You're not gonna make it.
That's Johnny. You're not gonna do it. I dare you to make this movie.
You're not gonna make it.
Johnny's sitting there going, I dare you to make it. How much money do you think you'll lose from it? How much money do you think you'll lose from it?
Basically.
But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. Are you excited? Here's the thing. Are you excited for the Jared Leto Joker movie? That's the thing I want to ask first. If you are, why are you excited for it? If you're not,
why are you excited for it?
I want to know why.
Just the way you stated
because
it.
how, like we've talked about how I'm not excited for it. I gave you why. Why you're excited for it. If you're not, why are you not excited for it? And really, what do you whole think of the two Joker movie thing that it looks like DC's trying to do? Let us know what you think down below in that comment section.